this episode, what I'm going to try to do is go ahead and get the fenders removed. That's going to allow us to take a look better at the floor pans and the footwells to see how bad they are with rust, and to get the front valance off. One of the things I'm kind of finding out is that with a car this old, almost every bolt and every nut is rusted and corroded on there pretty heavy, so I've had to spray all those things down with PV Blaster and let them soak overnight or sometimes longer than that to make it at least even possible to unbolt it. So let's get started on it. So the first part of taking the headlight out is there's this beauty ring that goes around the headlight, and there's one screw that's right here on the bottom, and it's a flathead screw. So the first thing we're gonna do is take that screw out. Once that screw's out, the beauty ring is just gonna pop off there. Pop off. Just pops off. There's a little tab up here, as you can see, that kind of rests on the top part of it. So that's the first part of taking this headlight out. So the next part, we're gonna need a Phillips screwdriver, and there's another ring that goes around it, and that's being held by a couple of screws. One of them's right here, so we're gonna take that one off. And over here, you can see the ring around it starting to come off already. And then looks like there's another one here. Now you gotta be careful, that's actually holding the bulb, the whole light in the housing. So once you get that part off, you can pull it out and unplug it. Now what I need to do is go ahead and there's some screws in here that I think we can take the whole thing out together. There is a little spring in the back of this that basically puts pressure on this cup. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and take these little tension screws up here, and I think that's basically just to adjust the angle of the headlight. So this would adjust it up or down. There's that one. So I think it just sits in a little slot. Once you get it loose enough, you can take that off. And then, like I said, now you see it's pulling tension on that spring that's in the back. So if I undo that, it just comes right out. So there's that little spring. It was hooked on right here and then hooked out to the back. Now, basically you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. So on the driver's side, which I had already gotten out, you have this kind of rubber gasket that goes up against the car for this bowl. And this thing's pretty, I mean, it can be cleaned up maybe, but it's pretty dinged up. This then sits inside there, inside that bowl with the spring that you can adjust the headlight with. Interestingly, this is the little beauty ring that holds the bulb in there, and it's obviously been cut and kind of manufactured up to hold it in there, so this isn't necessarily right. So the beauty ring's got a couple of dents in it, but it's not too awful bad. The marker, this was the marker on the back side of it. It's pretty crusty. The wire had basically just fallen out of it, so that's probably going to get replaced. Maybe the glass you keep, but again, my guess is you probably can just buy that whole thing as one whole piece, and so it's probably going to get replaced. But we'll keep it just in case. It may be something that we can actually use. So after I was able to get the headlight assemblies out of both sides, I've gone ahead and unbolted the fender. They all were 7/16 nuts. So there was one here, there's one on the inside in here, there's two here on the top, and then there was actually three down here inside that connects to the front valance, one of which I had to cut the head off of it because it was just too hard to get a socket in there. Then there's also four bolts which are on the inside the footwell, and I'll show you where those are. Four bolts inside here. One of them you can see the hole is right here. Then you just go right up the side. There's another one, and then another one at the very top, and then one all the way down there at the very bottom of the footwell is the fourth bolt. So once I have those completely unbolted, I think the fender is going to come right off. So after removing there's 6 screws on the inside, there's a little connector on the outside. I've already taken the front bumper bolts off. They had big washers on there. This thing should just pull straight off. So